Welcome back, esports fans. Going into Game 2 now on Dragon Shire. Game 8 top really impressing in Game 1, showing us a totally different team, right, Moonglade?
Completely different, Wolf. I was not expecting this coming in today. I thought it might even be a 3-0 for Joker, but they are looking brand new. They obviously went back to the drawing board after that loss and were like, okay, you know what? We're completely reinventing our meta because it's simply just too old.
Yeah.
It's too outdated, and it was a big problem, and it really showed them that in that last series.
Absolutely agree. So we talked about this map a little bit last week. We'll bring it up to you guys again so some of the newer viewers in there might be able to better understand it. Simply put, there are two shrines on the map, one to the top and one to the bottom. They're called the Sun and Moon Shrines. Now, if you stand on them for a long enough time without anyone being near you, you then control the shrine. This is what it looks like. And when you capture both shrines, you can actually channel the Dragon Knight in the middle of the map. Then it looks like this. And if no one touches you while you're doing this, no one damages you, a minion or a mercenary, anything damages you, it gets reset. So it's difficult to actually capture that. But if you control the map and both shrines, it's a very difficult thing to do. But then you become the Dragon Knight. It's got a big AoE spell that can push minion waves. You can kick people, and it's just a big tank.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like being a golem, like a player-controlled golem or something like that with a few disables and AoE damages. And you can see Merc camps, as you saw on the map, playing a very important part when the time comes of the shrines becoming active. And beyond that, I mean, it really comes down to, like, the later the game gets, the more powerful the Dragon Knight gets as well. So when you're at around level 20 or the 20-minute mark, the game changes a lot, and it's really kind of crucial that you never let them get the Dragon Knight.
Exactly. It scales so well in the late game. All right, let's take a look at these bans. I don't expect to see Nazeebo banned in the first part, but
I'd be surprised if that was the case. I wouldn't be surprised if we see similar. Zagar is a good choice, especially for this map as well. Another great map for her if she gets creep spread around and it pushes one of their lanes up. Very hard to try and take that shrine.
Probably a Zeratul ban here, most likely. If they don't, that means Danawa can pick up Zeratul at this point.
It's a good map for Zeratul as well.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of have to at this point.
Yeah,
No
it's just too risky. You don't want to let a team have Zeratul. I mean, I feel like the Zeratul's playability does scale with the strengths of the user, but at the same time,
Leoric.
Oh, Leoric.
Wow. Okay. Let's see if Joker wants to take advantage of this. See if they are prepared to go Zeratul, and they are.
Yeah, it's one of those heroes that even if you're not as good as some of the other carries, as if you're not Oreo Man, you could still play Zeratul pretty well because he's just so strong right now.
Look at this, Kael'thas and Uther for top. So I'm very excited to see Kael'thas come out here, see him all changed up. Let's see what kind of build he's going to choose and how it's going to play out. Good map for him as well, nice and big.
I wonder what they're going to pick up second here. Might be a time to pick Johanna.
They can go Johanna, they can go Tyrael, Johanna, good choice.
Tyrael is great on this map. I would actually like a Tyrael pick here as well. Lock both of those down. One of the reasons why Tyrael is so great is because he has two ways to get into the actual shrines. One is just to simply Aldruin's Might over the wall. You can also Judgment into that location as well.
Also a great kind of counter pick to Kael'thas, one of the DPS that lacks an escape until level 20. So you go for that Judgment. You're going to force out the Divine Shield very, very early on, which can be a huge advantage in a fight.
And he's also great at denying the shrine, or rather the actual channeling of the Dragon Knight himself. But it's going to be a Vala pick instead.
All right. Now, there's still plenty of time and room to get that Tyrael if they want it. Top, still, well, they're going to do in the next ban first, and beyond that, we'll have to wait and see where they want to go. They got a lot of options for them still there.
Yeah.
Jaina on the board.
Jaina could be what we see here.
Ice and Fire would be a cool combination to see on this map.
I wonder who they're going to ban at this point because there's a few different choices. Like, could ban Jaina if they don't want to use her.
Could ban Mouth, force out that Rhaegar pick.
Rhaegar definitely not as strong with the composition they built so far, I would say, with those two squishy assassins.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't help out too much compared to a Mouth.
Okay, that's a great choice. They're going to ban Malfurion. I think an Nazeebo ban here is a really good choice.
Yeah, Nazeebo would make a lot of sense at this point. They already got rid of Zayara. I mean, there's still no tank on the map for them. They could get rid of another DPS if they wanted to. I think Nazeebo makes sense.
Yeah, it's like if you ban Tyrael, that's fine, but then you also can't pick Tyrael yourself later on. Tyrael's a great pick for this map, but he's not amazing. Okay, you're going to ban a Nubarok, actually.
Okay.
Another one of those tanks that has different entry points into the shrines. You can actually use Impale over the shrine as well to disrupt without even being inside. And you can, of course, Burrow Charge into the shrine and get into the
Beetles
fight.
as well, you know, always going to help interrupt. I think we might have to see a Murden come out at this point, or an Arthas. Maybe Arthas Tyrael still on the cards as well for either side.
Yeah, Game 8 could lock both at this point, actually. We could actually go Tyrael or Arthas right now, and that could be the 2 tanks.
I'd like that. I like that a lot. It's stopping that sort of pick from going out for Joker. Because, I mean, if we see Tyrael as well on Joker, then they have so much burst damage with Judgment, then Zeratul coming in doing all that, Vala's at the back doing a lot of damage as well.
Yeah.
You see, like, Kel'Thas or even Uther explode in a second.
They're really thinking about this one, actually, burning a lot of their bonus time. I would say, okay, they're going to take Nazebo.
Okay.
See, this is why the ban on the Nubarok is going to allow this Nazebo pick, and I think we're just going to see Michi do some serious work again.
I think we're going to see 2 tanks from here, though, from top. I think they have to against the lineup they see so far. It's going to help out a lot against, especially like Zeratul.
Yeah.
But what do they want to go?
I think they'll pick
options.
Oh, they pick Arthas instead of Tyrael. This means we're definitely going to see Tyrael from Donovan now.
I think we'd have to, right?
If they pick Murden, I'm like, whoa, everything is different than I thought.
That would be ugly. That's an ugly choice, considering what they're up against. Maybe if there was like an Illidan or something crazy, like then they want to slow down attack speed. But so far we see nothing but casters from top as well as a tank.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a Tyrael pick here, probably the last one. And I'll be thinking about this one a little bit more. They might just log Tyrael in here for a moment to get that timer back again in a second. But
yeah, they can certainly wait till the last pick to go for Rhaegar. I think it has to be Tyrael there. It makes sense. Unless they want to go for something strange.
Yeah, they're really considering a lot of different options here. Perhaps considering just running 1 tank. We haven't really seen that at all in Korea, not too much, because it's just the meta in Korea is so much 2 tank and even oftentimes 3 tank. All right, well.
It is the standard, yeah. Multiple tanks, it does make a lot of sense at this point in the meta.
I'm trying to think of anything that could, really combo well with Void Prison that's left on the table. There's just nothing I could see.
Rhaegar first, at least. He's going to reset the countdown, I guess. Give him a little bit more time, and Sylvanas.
Oh, okay, so they are going to run the 1 tank. This is a really interesting sort of pick. Now, obviously, Wailing Arrow plus Void Prison, if you time that right, you can silence an entire team.
A lot of disable there, like cut off half the team with Void Prison, silence the rest, go for that big engage.
Yeah.
You do a lot of work, especially if you get that the silence off on, for instance, Uther, and you go in Judgment, or sorry, not Judgment, you go on for like the attack with like Zeratul, Johanna onto Kel'Thas, blow him up before the fight even begins.
Yeah, you just silence him, condemn him, and then just blast all that damage out. Drop the bombs from Zeratul as well. I feel like Tyrael was a really great obvious pick, but they must have some synergy here. They must be like, okay, we use Sylvanas with Zeratul. It makes sense for Sylvanas' last pick because she's not going to be picked early on. So if you have Zeratul first, it's not like someone's going to counter ban her most of the time.
Certainly not. But yeah, we'll see what top. Maybe this actually really changes things up at top, and they're like, well, you don't have double tank. Maybe we don't need it either. We can actually go for something else. Jaina has been completely left untouched.
Murden!
Huh.
Well, there is a bit of melee damage on, of course, Zeratul. Well, this pick is really interesting. Obviously, Murden is another one of those tanks that can jump over the walls on this map and can continue to stun. Perhaps I want to drop him into the fight, stun either Valor or Sylvanas.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the lineups, they do have a lot of stun with, like, Stormbolt, Uther, Kel'Thas even, and, of course, Arthas has one as well. So, like, they all can combine this and really deal with Zeratul if he tries to engage.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, these are 2 really interesting lineups that we're seeing. Glad we're kind of seeing a bit of a standard, or a deviation from the standard, from the norm.
Yeah, they are starting to mix things up just a little bit here. I mean, a little bit, it's still kind of standardish kind of lineups you'd normally see, but they're changing things up based on picks and bans.
Yeah. All right, let's go into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this started. Here we go, game 2. Donawa Joker versus Game Aid Top. And a really early fight potential here.
Yeah, kind of poking at each other. No full committal just yet. I don't think they really want to, just posturing while those other top and bottom lanes start to meet up.
I feel like the level 1 fight is definitely favoring Game Aid Top with the composition that they have. They're actually just going to go in here.
Wow, they're starting to really lock down one.
Yep, down goes Johanna, and Adam escapes as well. Let's talk about all the CC that this team has, okay? They've got Gravity Lapse on Kael'thas. They've got Zombie Wall on Nazebo. They've got the Howling Blast on Aran here on Arthas. Then they've got the Stormbolt.
Stormbolt,
and then
Hammer
they've got
of Justice.
They've got 5. So each hero has a CC to lock somebody down. So if you fight at level 1, you probably don't want to be fighting against this type of team, right?
I mean, if they can kill Johanna at level 1 like that, they got to be a little bit more careful. As we see the lanes kind of figure each other out here, it's going to be Arahan up top by himself as Arthas.
Yeah.
And it looks like bottom's going to be really dominated by top with 3 stack there.
Yeah, no tri-lane down there yet for Donawa Joker.
See, they're looking for these roamings. I do like this a lot considering how much CC they do have.
Yeah, this is really cool. Aran going to take this top shrine with Zeratul coming up now with Rocket, though.
Yeah, got to be a little careful. I think he's going to be taking a lot of damage before he gets to the tower.
Yeah,
they're going to try for it, actually.
Ooh, he's eating a lot of damage there, Darvish is.
Rocket took a bit too. He missed that Howling Blast. If he actually got that, maybe they could have gone for a kill.
Michi rotated up. But they could actually try to force this shrine. As at the bottom, Kale is winning that lane. He's pushed it back. He actually is going to rotate up here to try to get a kill. Now on Rhaegar. Look at that zombie wall. I'm telling you, man, should have banned Nazebo.
Should have been Nazebo, man. Top once again taking a nice little lead. Already level 4. Oh, but up top, Ahan in a little bit more trouble again. Going to start working actually on Zeratul, doing a little bit of damage. Now comes the rotation.
Well, if they can grab that shrine, they'll be able to force a lot of pressure in the mid lane.
They're actually already kind of snowballing. I love their composition, the fact that they can roam like this and actually push every lane. Now they're up nearly a level already. They're in a great place.
We see that Verdant Spear's Gravity Lapse kind of upgrade there, so they can actually reach further from Kale now.
Yeah, it's kind of like the new build we're seeing. Much less about gathering power.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool choice. Gathering Power got nerfed really hard, so...
It's a shame because I used to love the nukes he could drop at level 16, but it does make sense that they changed it up, and he still has some very powerful builds. He's still top tier for sure, just in a different way.
We see Laws and Hope picked up for Johanna, a little extra healing. And of course the Stormbolt upgrades, or Thundercloud upgrades I should say, coming out for
slowing down those attacks. And look at that, already a Dragon Knight for top. Adam going to be leading the way, working on those towers to start things off to get a nice experience lead.
Yeah, taking a bit of damage here. He probably wants to rotate to another lane. Darvish is right on him, putting out that damage.
Look at this, every lane's getting pushed up at this point. They're going to kind of build a lot of momentum behind this. Dragon Knight's going to be keeping at least 3 of them busy in mid.
Yeah, and if they leave, then he can just do so much. I mean, he's basically just soaking the lane, just forcing that extra pressure. And they're really pushing these towers down. Even Lotus is trying to drop down Living Bomb onto those towers. Look at this. Drops it down again. Look at this. One.
Level 7 now, so he's going to have that even stronger Living Bomb. And huge lead there, already for top. Really building a lot of momentum.
Adam is going to pop out here.
It's going to be a high one for Adam. He does have backup there. People are rotating.
Yeah, and he also can jump away with his Dwarf Toss. He's got the Sun to save himself there, and Pilot's like, I got your back.
Pilot there is no way.
Yeah. Oh man, this team is already going to take a whole level lead, even bigger advantage than they had last game.
Yeah, they're actually really. They sent a message in game 1, and now they're just dominating. They're not completely dominating just yet, but they do have a lot of momentum in game 2.
I feel like they've really studied their opponents here, and they look nervous in the booth, but that can also be a sign that this really matters to them. They've really prepared well for this. They're ready for this.
I kind of feel like top baited out that Zeratul pick as well. Like we did see Joker pick it, but they're not finding any use for him really at all, just yet at least. Maybe when the heroics come online, they'll have a better chance of using him in this kind of composition. But with the amount of CC, I'll hold on that thought.
Oh, Rocket's getting pretty low here. Pilot does as well, but he did his job. He put that healing off on Aran. A good rotation to save Johanna there because it was a really nice move by top to try to get that pick, to get that kill. They're really favoring just picking off Johanna because she's getting a bit far forward sometimes in these lanes.
I think it's going to eventually be phased out there. Like, they can only do that in the early game. The later it gets, the harder she is to kill, especially when that Heroic's online.
And now with Sylvanas in this lane, these towers are offline, so she's able to keep pushing that down.
With Kel'Thuz there, everything's going to get cleaned up pretty quickly. It's a pretty robust sort of composition there. Uther, Arthas, and Kel'Thuz.
Yeah. Good to see that texture bug doesn't only just happen to me, by the way. Well, I mean, I think you're totally right about the Zeratul pick. You know, is it baited? Did they really want to try to synergize with it? If they did, they certainly didn't do it. You know, it didn't happen in this game because he's just not getting much done at all.
Well, you see the lineups, like, you need more CC if you're going to be roaming like this. You want to have, like, a Jaina with you or something else that's going to help out when you rotate to a lane and blow someone up. But it's just not happening. Zeratul's there. There's potential for him to do damage, but no one really to help him out.
Yeah. Wave clear, they've got Sylvanas, they've got Vala, but they don't have a third wave clear to allow Zeratul to roam a little bit more. So, you know, if he leaves the lane, that lane's going to get pushed. And we're going to see these bruisers actually with Lotus up here to living bomb them. You know, move them forward. He's got the living bomb to kill those giants, and this push is really strong. They're going to be able to get the healing wall, it looks like, at least.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is also available, so if he wants to really commit to it, maybe commit to a fort, can go for that as well. Oh, looks like Zeratul going to get stunned down twice here, but it's going to be a hard commitment with 4 of them there waiting.
Yeah, he was trying to bait them in here. Did not work. There's a zombie wall, but it doesn't work. But oh, look at that lockdown. Look at that stun. And the Phoenix. Starvish gets insanely low, but he survives. A really good condemn there, the Void Prison.
Well, this is what it's all about. This is what we've been waiting for, that Void Prison to come online.
That's what saved them there in that fight.
Yeah, it really did. And I thought they might have be able to turn it around on top, but maybe they just didn't have enough HP to really commit to it. Yeah. I saw Kel'Thuz get so low.
And Rocket had like no mana, so he definitely wasn't going to be able to stick around and do much. Yeah, they're going to try to go for the Shrine, but Michi gets top, so not going to be a capture potential here.
Trading shrines. Something we do see a lot on this map is teams rotate and trade shrines out.
Sylvanas is actually pushing pretty hard down there in the bot. Every time she's in a lane, it's definitely getting a little bit more difficult for top to defend.
She requires a lot of attention from the other team. Like, you cannot just let her push a lane like this. Same time, a counter push on the other hand will even things up.
There's that zombie wall actually blocking Rocket out, but there's got a tiny hole, but there's a Howling Blast. And it's really interesting, Rocket is committing so much because he can absolutely go down.
Yeah, he's buying time, but time for what? No one's coming up to help him either, so he's kind of just taking damage, delaying it, but both towers are going to go down.
An attempt here to steal. Oh, Lotus knows about it. That was a bit of a missed flame strike there.
That was a weird flame strike indeed, helping them out instead, but look at this. Adam with the whiff.
Yeah, and Adam now alone here with Lotus. Pilot does come in to save them, but that was a questionable engagement. You know, Michi was nearby, but just not close enough.
Yeah, and it looks like once again, hold that foot. I'm trying for Darvish. And they're going to cap bottom, they should at least. It's only half cap right now, kind of neutral. If they allow Joga to get it, maybe they can go for that cap in mid, but we are seeing Arthas rotate top as well.
Yeah. And Sylvanas can push that bot lane back, but not with 2 in there, not with the Giants there. It's going to be a bit tougher. If Arthas actually just went up and took the Shrine, he could absolutely have it, and there's all out of position. They just don't have vision. Well, looks like they're actually going to go for the gank here.
Oh, man, I think they might just have it. Condemn's going to pull him in. Do they have a follow-up and stuns there?
Oh, well, a ton of damage fall. And actually, look at that body block plus, using that strafe here, Aaron Wells, and it keeps him alive a little bit longer, but he's not going to be able to escape. And the rest of the team rotating a bit too slow. They didn't have vision.
Oh, man, Adam and Michi have to get out of there. Great Void Prism to zone him out, but no real advantage taken from it.
It looks like top just assumed that they were doing the bruisers, and that's where those missing players were, but this was not the case.
Pilot really caught out. Has to waste the Divine Shield. Another really bad position, but they can zone him out with the zombie wall.
There's the gravity lapse as well, locking Rocket in.
Phoenix going to be ran through, and here we go with a lot of damage. Look at that Ancestral.
Really nice Ancestral here. Adam trying to slow things down. The Gargantuan, we're seeing him pick that again. Not doing too much, gets burst down, and looks like they're just going to have to disengage here, but they have to continue to put pressure on the Shrine, or rather on this statue, because it's going to be capped if they leave the lane alone.
Yeah, they cannot leave it alone. Maybe one rotation. We are seeing actually Arthas rotate top to decap that Shrine. Arhan going to do the work here. They should be safe from this. Yep. Oh, Adam though, gotta be careful. He's the only one out there now. Doesn't have that dwarf toss there.
Looks like he wants to make it look like they're trying to bait a fight, when in reality they're actually just gonna try to take these bruisers. And that's a smart choice. Yeah, I think get these bruisers essentially for free. And this is going to have to be dealt with by Danawa, or they're going to have to take their own bruisers. They are going to take these Giants first. And we actually see Darvish jumping here on Michi with Rocket to support, and here comes Q. Darvish has to blink away, but Michi will go down. A really great move here, but there's the living bomb exploding. Pilot has to, again, shield himself.
This is not a good fight for top.
A 1v1 trade, but I really like the way that they engage that. I guess Zeratul staying a bit too long.
Yeah, it seemed that way, but I mean, like, when you look at both teams, top's the ones that are going to have to retreat because they're simply too damaged. Same time though, top not really, Joker not going to be able to push top back in top lane.
Yeah, so this is an interesting time to go for an engagement like this. I would have rather liked Zeratul to try to kill Michi and then leave, and then not try to follow-up engage because they've got top being pushed. They're actually potentially about to lose both shrines. The only thing they really had on the map was simply those siege golems, and Sylvanas had to go up top, so she wasn't there because she was pushing that top lane pushback. So awkward time to take that fight.
Rocket going to take a lot of CC damage here. Howling Blast only lasting a second. He's so low though, but look at that. Beautifully done Void Prison to keep him alive just a little bit longer. Yeah,
definitely going to be a defensive Void Prism because they could not capitalize on it. Adam way up here in the front in the fray along with Arhan. Michi on the back, not able to find any damage right now. There's a Dwarf toss away.
Oh, another chain bomb going down on Rocket. Down he goes, explodes in a second after that gravity lapse.
And now they have both shrines.
Oh, Q from behind.
Q trying to escape. Look at that, using the zombie wall as a kind of a force field here to block him in. But this is actually not a good place for Pilot right now. Dragon Knight is taken. They do hold it long enough. And he actually does Shrink Ray, and there's the follow-up stun. But not able to take this fight, not 2v4, even with Arhan coming back. But they're buying a lot of space for the Dragon Knight to do damage in mid.
Oh, it's going to be another hard fight. Arhan way too forward. They're going to take so much damage, especially from Q, who's very healthy.
Okay, there's the shield, though. Protective shield there on Uther to save him, but they're going to get a whole fort here essentially for free because Adam is just uncontested. Looks like they just constantly baited out a bad fight.
Yeah, they bought a lot of time for this. So top really going to capitalize getting down that mid fort. Something we didn't really note at all, Wolf, as well, is the build on Valor. It's actually going to be the Hungering Arrow build, which is why we did actually see her manage to get a kill from behind the trees down below. She got so much more damage on it, so much more potential as well as range.
Did she get the talent where you refresh Hungering Arrow when you vault? Is that the vault talent she grabbed? You check that for me? They all kind of look the same with icons, so.
Yeah, I believe it was a repeating arrow one.
Yeah.
So it's really all stacking up. She can vault, shoot again, so she can shoot a number of times. And with that strafe, obviously, going to help out even more.
Well, level 16 is online for both teams now, so we've got double bombs, we've got blood for blood. Sylvanas has her extra damage, that vulnerability talent. Also, we've got Arcane Barrier coming out for Kel'Thas, so he can stay alive a little bit longer in these fights. And Benediction for Uther, so he can do double stun.
Nice fight, nice engagement from top here. They're going to take a huge advantage. Look at that Howling Blast.
Man, Darvish goes down in a second. And now Q has to escape. He's not getting any damage done. Rocket getting slowed and killed.
Oh.
And Adam just continuing to lock down Q. Looks like he will escape with blood for blood.
Yeah, no real follow-up there, no lockdown. Everyone else pushing bottom instead.
Yeah, they get the fort. And Adam and Michi are going to actually take these siege giants as well. And they're just going to keep pushing it. They should be able to get this wall. And they actually rotate down to defend instead of trying to go for bruisers. Sylvanas way out of position on where she was going. She was like pushing mid by herself.
Not looking good at all. Top looking to claim a keep here. I think they have a lot of time to do it. They got about 10 seconds until Johanna is back. If they weren't really commit to it, they are getting kind of DPS down a little bit at least.
And when you see that vulnerability, that shield break, that's Sylvanas' level 16 talent that makes anyone that gets hit by that corruption take so much extra damage. So it's insane.
It's be very careful.
It can go on the whole team, so you really have to be careful about that. It's important to spread out and make sure that it doesn't spread to all your teammates.
So Zeratul go for that bomb build, so he's got double spikes.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to add up a lot of damage very quickly.
But this is a nice move. Seeing that most people are missing on the map, taking the bottom bruisers, and then they can rotate back, eventually take their own bruisers and have two bruisers to just the one now.
Yeah, so it's like a bit of a counter push on the bottom foot. Gonna have to see everyone rotate down quick if they want to try and keep it alive. So much damage.
Arthas is really far away, so they're definitely going to get this fort. Looks like Adam wants to try to...
Oh, Adam's got to be so careful. That's 1v5 if they chose to collapse on top of him.
Yeah, Blood for Blood is active as well. He could use it on him. He does go ahead and use that avatar, though. Howling Blast hits Nan, but it's not going to matter. There's no follow-up. Also, another missed zombie wall here from Ichi. And oh, look at that Void Prism. This is a bad situation right now for top.
It's getting out of hand here. Look at those chain bombs go off there, really turning things around, doing so much damage.
And a great Divine Shield on Arhan as well. They really turned that fight around.
Biggest mistake there was the Ancestral on Q, who took about 100 worth of damage and then got Ancestral forward. He thought he was going to get blown up, but not the case at all.
Yeah, it was very wasted. Keep in mind also they're 2 levels down at this point, so that's a lot of extra damage. It's a lot of extra hit points. That scaling there. It's going to help them in a longer fight. Look, their best opportunity was there with that Void Prism, but they just couldn't get any kills in that very brief moment.
They keep getting forced to use it defensively, which is the biggest problem, I feel. Like, always not the ideal sort of fight for Zeratul. Oh, they're going to cap this again, man.
Yeah, this looks like it. I mean, they're actually going for bruisers right now. They're just absolutely not in position for this. This is now a 16-minute Dragon Knight.
Oh, look at this. He's going to claim it. They're going to have to retreat. And they're all going to have to be gathering up down bottom, it seems. Dragon Knight heading down that way.
Yeah, I think this actually could be a keep. This could be 2 keeps, depending on how they push it.
I think it's 2 keeps, Wolf. I'm confident of this. Actually, they're going to come back up the Dragon Knight. They're going to commit to it, so certainly will be at least 1.
Just playing a little bit safer at this point.
That poke potential with Kel'Thas just makes things so much more difficult. The Chain Bomb is out of control.
Yeah, it's insane damage on Chain Bomb. You really have to split against that.
You see Bolt of the Storm now active as well. Both their DPS.
Okay, this is an engagement. They're just going to take it. It's favorable for them. They're going to drop the Phoenix. Lotus taking a lot of damage,
Lotus
though.
going to be targeted here.
And he gets CC'd. There's a Divine Shield, though, and he still has Arcane Barrier as well. Q getting so low. That's a good Divine, or rather a good Ancestral, yes.
Yeah, really brings it back here. But look at that, focusing the core. Void Prism on the core to keep it alive just a little while longer. Can they clean this up in time?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think so. Dragon Knight doing so much damage here. And it looks like they're just actually going to be able to push it for the win. Did not expect a win off of that push, but because they were so focused on the engagement, and they were taking a decent one, the Dragon Knight was just free to do free damage.
Free to do free damage, absolutely. And I mean, level 20, they have such a powerful Dragon Knight at that point. They can just DPS down the core like that. It's absolutely insane. And I'm sure Joker is sitting there scratching their heads like, why weren't these guys playing this well against Snake?
Yeah. Why
are these guys so good today? This is actually a whole different team.
It's absolutely a new world we're living in almost. I mean, the composition they built was sick. Every single hero had a CC, had a lockdown, and Michi is not disappointing with these zombie walls. Sometimes you can tell he's intentionally placing it behind a hero, so that either it's going to trap them or it's going to zone them out so they can't leave. Zombie wall really strong on this map because you can place it in between the tiny choke points on the shrines. You can use it to lock down the actual gates as well. If you put it right on top of a gate, if you place it right, the player cannot actually retreat back and go home.
Yeah, certainly so. So really nicely played there. They might actually have to start banning out the Zebo. I think it's getting to that point.
Just rewatch some of these engagements now. Talk about the big picture. Again, Darvish he gets this kill, but then he can't escape. He gets killed by that living bomb, and it's just a matter of some of his moves are good. His Void Prisms, though, had to be used mostly defensively.
Yeah, see, I think that was one of the biggest things about this game. Like, never did we see it offensively made. They were like kind of playing from behind since the Heroics came online, and from there, like, they're never going to have those decent fights that they're dreaming of when they picked up Zeratul like that.
We never got to see Wailing Arrow synergy with that either. We never really got to see this moment where they Void Prism, say 4 people, time it so the arrow hits all of them on the way out. It just never happened.
Yeah, it didn't really come together like they hoped, I'm sure. Just constantly playing, constantly pressured on the back foot like they were, makes it so much harder.
Notice the spread as well in all these engagements. This is their best opportunity for a good engagement. Look at that, Divine Shield keeps Arvis alive.
I mean, a 2-level advantage, it's a big deal even if there's no talent points involved.
Another one of those wasted Ancestrals. I'm glad you pointed that out earlier.
Yeah, we actually been seeing a lot of whiffs today. Their Rhaegar play is not in their game, and I think we're going to see more advantages taken of that with more healers banned out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, now, Game 8 top taking a 2-0 lead as we go into our third map, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Oh, man. This is a fun map. This is a very aggressive map. So if they go for the same sort of composition this time around, I wouldn't be surprised, and I think they'd do very well with it because their roaming last game was fantastic.
Absolutely. Before we go into this next match, though, guys, we are going to have another one of our quick 7